Would love to know your thoughts in the comments, man. Which one do you think it is? And are you optimistic for Tiger in the Masters? Or are you in that position where it's like, you know what? I don't want to see the same story because it hurts seeing the GOAT limping up and down Augusta and struggling to swing. Like, all right, guys, welcome back to the best golf podcast out there on the market. And some of you guys might be like, wait, who are you guys? Exactly. You're here for a reason because you know we're the best golf podcast. That means the Lord has directed you to us. I'm Jeremy Davis, former NFL player and host of the best YouTube golf show, Golf and Gospel. Highly encourage you guys to check out everything on Golf and Gospel on this platform, on YouTube. If you're listening from Spotify, go on YouTube, type in Golf and Gospel, and see everything we're about. And I'm with the best co-host in all of sports outlets. I got the best PT in all the Southwest, former Nebraska Cornerstone golfer, Nate Wong. Guys, please like, subscribe, comment, rate us on Spotify. If you have a critique, tell us why you don't like us. If you think we're doing good, lift us up and encourage us. You're here for a reason. Please, be involved with us, man, because we enjoy doing this. And we have some good takes. If you literally study what we've been saying, we beat a lot of the other major outlets before they said. So if you guys like, subscribe, we can literally put ourselves on the map and we can show you, man, Jeremy and Nate know what they're talking about. I mean, last week, Nate hit it on the head with Matt Fitzpatrick and Cam Young. And no one wants to discuss it but me and the few people that watched it. But we be locked in. But I'm going to go over table of contents, things we're going to be talking about. We're going to recap in the LPGA weekend, which is currently still going on. They're playing at the Founders Cup in California. So hopefully by time, even though this isn't live, but you guys will hear us announce who's going to win that, which you probably will already know. And we're going to make a prediction for probably one of the best tournaments on the LPGA, the 4 championships out here in Arizona. We're going to recap the winner on the PGA. Shout out to Matt Fitzpatrick. What a clutch birdie he made on 18. He really dominated those last 3 holes, the snake pit at the Innocent Brook Golf Course. And we're going to be discussing, can Tiger Woods be Masters ready? Huge questions as we're right around the corner from the Masters. We're going to talk about LIV Impact and what it's doing globally, and Bryson DeChambeau going back-to-back. And also, the faith portion, we're going to talk about dealing with fear as a believer. So, Nate, let's jump straight into it. PGA, first off, dog, 4 weeks in a row, the leader going into Sunday has blown the lead.
Dude.
Starting off with the homie Sung J M, had a 2-stroke lead on the Sunday. Thing that was crazy, I believe the first 7 holes, 4 bogeys. He didn't even get to the snake pick or hole 14 with the double dog leg. He just kind of folded from the get-go, which is super unfortunate. Now, to his credit, he was coming off a wrist injury, and he played very well coming off an injury. However, to see him have a lead and throw it was definitely a shame. However, let's go on and talk about this. Ludwig Oberg also blew the league last week. We talked about that. Daniel Berger blew it to Akshay Bhatia. And then we're not going to let you slide. Shane Lowry, we know the cause in it was not as big as these last 3 tournaments, but you also folded. But, Nate, let's just kind of be fixated on this week's golf, man. But let me know your thoughts about, Sung J M, who was playing well but ended up folding. What were your thoughts about this game before we get into our winner, Matt Fitzpatrick?
Dude, I feel like I kind of saw it coming, and I hate to say it, because last year, I mean, you never know, because, this could be a different Sung J M that we're seeing, and there's going to be a time where he actually hangs on to a lead, and I swear it's going to happen, and we're all going to say it's not going to happen, and then it'll happen, and he'll prove us all wrong. And right. I would love to be proven wrong by Sung J M. But this just made me think of, was it last year when it's the tournament where they all have the suit, but it's not the master suit, it's the checkered suit. I forgot what tournament that's called. I think it's the one right after the Masters or right before the Masters, and he gave it away the lead. And I just remember seeing, they were waiting for the next group because they're on a par 5, and I just remember seeing him sitting there just all
disappointed.
Sad.
Yeah.
And that lives in my head. So that's why I'm it's going to happen. He's going to choke. I'm sorry. And I hope he proves me wrong one day. I hope he does. But
I will say one thing. He did play better than the Korean golf club on LIV Golf. So that's one thing him and Siwoo could look forward
dead
to.
last.
We're not as bad as them over in LIV, the Korean team there, because he was also one of the guys that had rumors to he might go too. He already said it was false rumors, but they're representing their country a lot better on the PGA as opposed to LIV, man. And no shade.
Yeah,
I'm
they
just going with
got
the
last
film
this
shows
week
me.
too.
They got last again, bro. Back to back weeks, man. But we will get into LIV, but
yeah.
Yeah, man, Sung Jae, man, it was just disappointing. Again, 4 bogeys in the first 7 holes. I'm just like, man, he's out of contention. I forgot what hole I was watching specifically. Hit his drive under a tree. I don't know if he hit a root or what, but just kind of like duffed his next shot, had to chip up, end up getting bogey again, dropped another shot. And I'm just like, man, you still got a lot to go through with the snake pick and that dog leg hole 14. But I think during the snake pit, he ended up going 1 under. A lot of guys kind of lose it at that point. So I can only imagine if he would just play even par golf and still having
the snake pit.
Just going into the snake pit, maybe he would have had a chance. Now, Matt Fitzpatrick was playing crazy. Limsky was playing crazy. Yesterday, Snedeker was playing really good.
He kind of crapped the bed this week.
He did.
Today.
He did. And Marco Pinch was playing good. What's up with all these PXG players playing well, man? It's just
Dude,
crazy.
yes, he popped out of nowhere. That's right.
Marco Pinch and Limsky popped out of nowhere, man. So, I mean, PXG might have something going. I don't think anyone's using a PXG putter. However, from a wedge perspective, from a wedge perspective and irons, I mean, it's getting these guys into contentions. And PXG is probably like, well, maybe if they use our putters, maybe they'll win. Maybe that's the thing. And I'm not a PXG player either, so there's no plug there.
Did Marco shoot like 60 something today? Like he went crazy.
Played incredible, man. I forgot which hole it was where
on a tough course.
Tough, bro.
It looked tough.
That's the number 6 toughest course on tour.
Dude,
so yeah.
Because I was look at the scores, I'm like, dude, minus 11. That's not that low, which is weird, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
But the cut was really high too, so.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm kind of happy that it wasn't because, like, obviously the couple tournaments prior, except obviously the AT&T that Colin won, this is probably one of the only ones that you didn't shoot like 20 under, 30 under to win. So I like when the course is a little bit more difficult to see how the players play a little bit more strategically in their decision making and stuff like that. It's not just like boring green or regulation golf and like let's just see who has the best putter. So I do enjoy a tough course like this, man. But let's talk about the winner, Matt Fitzpatrick, man. A guy you've been heavy on the last 2 or 3 weeks, someone I gave you pushback on, but he's been playing really, really, really good golf as of lately, man. What was your take on Matt Fitzpatrick getting this victory? His 3rd PGA victory, which is really crazy because he's a major winner, but only has 3 PGA Tour victories.
That is actually really weird. But the putter, everything else about his game is just like very, very solid, controlled, and
I agree.
His driver is ridiculous now. Yes. It's crazy. I mean, this happened, I think, last year, but man, just seeing, because they were showing like all of his shots this week. Granted, they were showing all of his shots last week too, but his driver is, man, he swings a lot every day. It just looks more and more like Rory, you know. But his putter looked good today, and I think that was just better. That's just a missing piece, and I think guys like Fitzpatrick do better chasing than hanging on to a lead, than running the clock out. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, what if the roles were switched with Siwoo and Fitzpatrick, where we saw Siwoo,
Sung Jae,
or Sung Jae M. Where we saw Sung Jae M chase and catch Fitzpatrick. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good question. Again, the homie Chris P. Fish said, man, it is hard to hold a lead when you're on the PGA Tour unless you are a 2025 Scotty Scheffler, man. But that is the one thing I kind of realized, too, with Matt Fitzpatrick. I mean, his putter is not all the way there yet, but it is indeed getting better. I mean, he's still 42 in strokes gained putting. He's 52 in putts per green regulation. But I've been saying this kind of historically throughout we've been doing the podcast. Like, there are a lot of players who are, like, top 5 in strokes gained off the tee, maybe top 10 in stroke gain approach. And then like the putting, they're like ranked 90. And I'm like, man, if you could just get in the 50s, we can see victory from you. Matt Fitzpatrick, I mean, he's not ranked really high in his putting, but like if he's just slowly just dropping down to like 60 to 50 to 42, which has been projecting him to either be in contention with like top 5, maybe get a solo second as he did last week, and this week putter. And it's funny, I don't want to say they're similar. I feel like the putt he had last week to make the par and force the playoff with Cam Young was kind of a little bit similar to the one he had on the final round at Innisbrook. And this time he just made sure to make, because I think last week he just burnt the edge off the right side, and then this week hit a dagger. Gave an opportunity for Limsky as well, like kind of similar area. He was more on the fringe. Chipped it, almost got it to go in and obviously force a playoff. But I think Matt Fitzpatrick just steadily improving with his putter. And I say it's not like dramatically, like he's not a top 5 putter on tour at all. But if he could just kind of continue to float and still improve, but if he can float around that 30 to 40 area and continue to be dominant in his approach shots, that crosshand under tripping and off the tee.
That is weird.
Very weird. He continues to do that. Maybe. And I said last week, I don't know, it might be a reach saying Matt Fitzpatrick might be major ready, but he could be. Still early in the season. Go ahead, Nick.
This is the thing. You could have like a hot day with your putter. It's like, you might be 50th one day, and then you might the next day be the best putter on tour. Just sometimes putting works like that. And if we get that Matt Fitzpatrick at the Masters, bro, that's going to be,
Yeah, now that's a great take about the putter, because we were just talking about, too, the LPGA. I believe they was talking about Minjee Lee 2 years ago was like ranked 120-something in strokes gained putting, and then last year she was number 2 when she switched to the broom. So
that's right. They were saying
just
that.
all depends on the time, the season, the day in golf, man. It's just super crazy, man. But Nate, a lot of big names missed the cut. I'm going to go over them, man. We got Wyndham Clark, Ben Griffin, Neil Shipley, Aaron Wright, Victor Hovland, Marcel Rozo, which is funny. I still got him hit him favorite because of our first week pick. Bo Hostler, J.J. Spence, Heath Tagala, Evan Ruyan, excuse me, Max Homa, and then Luke Clinton. Who are some guys that kind of shock you on this list?
Dude, right when you said his name, I was like, I forgot about it. But Victor Hovland, bro. Man.
That's what I had.
Because he was actually doing, I thought he was like under par at one point. I wonder if the snake pit got him. They weren't, like, it's not like they were showing him,
Right.
Because they had the feature groups were like Schauffele and Spieth's groups were featured on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
But
Spieth had a crazy front nine day one, and then after that, he just showed us normal Spieth.
Yeah.
Let us down again.
But yeah, dude, Victor Hovland was doing well. I think the snake pit got him. I'm gonna actually look up his round.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna speak on that too, man. And it's funny because Victor Hovland is a shocker for me. Last year, I was never shocked when Victor Hovland got cut because he was always tinkering. So I'm like, man, Victor, you're setting yourself up for failure by tinkering when it's not necessary. Now this year, he's been having a solid year, a couple top 15s, made cuts.
Yeah.
But I think, man, former winner last year won, beating Justin Thomas by finishing with bogey because Justin Thomas obviously should have chipped instead of putted, as Nate alluded to. He ended up winning last year, so you're like, okay, he's going to defend his title. What type of Victor Hovland are we going to get? And he did not look good at all. So he was one of my shockers for sure. And the other guy that I had, but it's not necessarily a shocker, I think coming off him and his caddy splitting, Wyndham Clark and John Ellis, you're kind of curious, like, okay, how is this going to project Wyndham to play? Wyndham's not really having anything crazy of a year. He's definitely not repeating the 2023 year he had. But I was very curious to see, like, what we would have seen from Wyndham with a new caddy or a new guy in the bag. And obviously it didn't fare, too well for him. But did you got Victor Hovland's scorecard pulled up?
Yeah, so round 2, this is it. He doubled the first hole, made a birdie on 11, and had 3 bogeys the rest of the way.
Snake pit got him then, 16 and 18.
Yeah, dude, it wasn't 16 and 18. It was 13 and 14. So then you go
bogey, 14's that double dog leg hole
on par 5. Yeah. The one that Fitzpatrick had a little issue with today.
Yeah. Played a lot smarter though.
No, but he made par.
That's
if I recall correctly.
That's a win. Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So think about it like this. You just made like 2 bogeys going in the snake pit. You're like, oh shoot, dude, I gotta score now.
And it's like I said, I believe number 6 hardest course on tour. It's scary when you have to chase at 16 and 18. You kind of want that to be your, okay, I can take a knee here. If I can just finish out par,
exactly.
I'm good. And unfortunately, you put yourself in that situation where now, especially to make the cut, man, I think that's a little bit more stressful going through the snake pit trying to make the cut as opposed to in contention, because obviously if we're talking about from a financial standpoint, if you make the cut, you're going to get paid this weekend. But it's like, dang, I got to go through the snake pit just to get paid and just get to the weekend. Probably a little bit more stressful to get in there, man. So, but again, shout out to Matt Fitzpatrick, man, getting his 3rd PGA Tour win, looking major ready, which is good. we'll see how he's still playing once we get closer to major season. Obviously, we got the Masters coming up first. I guess when we consider the first major, the players, he got solo second. So maybe he is major ready already.
Dude, I know. Plus, back-to-back weeks are birdie on 18 won it.
Oh, yeah. Wait,
isn't that crazy?
No, wait, did Cam Young
Cam Young made a birdie on 18. He had like the longest drive.
I think he parred because remember Matt Fitzpatrick.
Did he?
He pulled his or he cut it too much on 18, so he had to punch out the pine straws, and then he got on and he had the one putt for par. Matt Fitzpatrick did, and it got bogey, and because Cam Young was on the back fringe for birdie, and then missed it and had a tap in par, so. Matt Fitzpatrick had to make par to force a playoff. Yeah. No,
okay. You know what? I was thinking that was a birdie putt. That was what I was thinking.
It was the par putt. Yeah. Oh, well, he did have a birdie putt, but the par putt was to win it, and then because Matt Fitzpatrick didn't get the GIR to have a birdie opportunity. Yeah. All good, man. But let's talk about obviously the best golfer in all of golf ever. Some Jack Nicklaus fans may give pushback on that. Tiger Woods, man. The question is, do we think Tiger Woods is master ready? I want to read this quote that Tiger had. He said, I said I've been working on it. Sometimes I have good days, sometimes I have bad days. Disc replacement is not a lot of fun. So Will Zalatoris went through it. He had 2 levels done, and it takes time. So as I said, I've had a lot of procedures prior to that, so the body doesn't quite heal like it was when I was 24. Doesn't quite bounce back. So I've had good days when I can pretty much do anything and other days where it's hard to just move around. Nate, I looked at the Masters field earlier today. You know, I usually will say guys that are playing and then past champions who aren't playing. Tiger Woods is in the field, projected to play. What are your thoughts on Tiger Woods going into the Masters?
Dude, I don't know, man. The thing is, that makes me a little bit comfortable, like a little bit more optimistic about Tiger Woods is the fact that it's not his ankle, so it's not hard to walk around. But it's also like you use your back when you walk. So
the core.
You know, this is because Augusta is not an easy course to walk from what I see and what I hear from fans and from the guys on tour and caddies and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if it's your feet, it's hard to get the swelling out. Swelling just pools down there. So if it's like an ankle injury like it was a couple of years ago, you know, he had a tough time like he was just limping up there. But then again, like you use your back when you walk. The good thing about back is that actually I don't know that this is actually true. But like I was gonna say, like you can rest your back better, but it's like you can get off your feet too. So I guess my statement, because when you like sit down, like if as long as you like. If you sit, you have to like lean back to rest your.
For sure, yeah.
You know, I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know. I'm not optimistic for Tiger.
Yeah,
I would love to see him win. As a fan, I would just be so happy if he won. I would be so happy if he made the cut.
Yeah. So my thought in regards to Tiger being Masters ready is obviously he did not play in any TGL matches, and I don't think he's going to play in the TGL final. Now, I see that in 2 ways. One,
his team is in the final.
Right. One, I see it as like, man, like if you can't even play in the finals, then like what makes you think you're going to be ready for the Masters? But on the other side, it could be like, man, I'm trying to save every possible swing that I have for the Masters, which is the reason why I'm not playing in the TGL Championship. So, am I optimistic about Tiger? It's hard to, because like I said, I'm a film guy, I'm a trends guy, and I haven't seen any film on him really swinging. I mean, I've seen him do some short game stuff, some chipping and some putting, but like I feel like at this point, if I see Tiger swing full, I might be like cringing, like, okay, he's all right. Oh no, or like, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm afraid if he doesn't have the perfect lie and he has to really like punch out, or if he has a weird lie, like how's that going to help, or how's that going to affect him rotating? So that's some of the fears and stuff I have with Tiger. I mean, it would be amazing if he, you know, what's the term? Strike lightning in the bottle or whatever, something like that.
Catches lightning in the bottle.
Yeah. There it is. And he has a 2019 type form. So, like I said, it goes both ways. He's not playing in the TGL Championship because, like, oh, my body's not ready. Or he's not playing in TGL Championship because he's like, I want to save every possible swing I have for Augusta. So, would love to know your thoughts in the comments, man. Which one do you think it is? And are you optimistic for Tiger in the Masters? Or are you in that position where it's like, you know what? I don't want to see the same story because it hurts seeing the GOAT limping up and down Augusta and struggling to swing. Like, you know what's crazy? Kind of watching, some flag football stuff with like Fanatic Sports and the NFL.
Yeah.
You see a guy like Tom Brady looks phenomenal at 48 moving around.
Dude, yeah.
And then Tiger at 50 just kind of limping. And obviously football is one of the more violent sports, and Tom Brady just looks fine.
I know Tiger's injuries are like Andrew Luck's injuries, compared to
yes.
Yeah, but it's like he played golf,
But you play golf, man. Yeah. Great take. Another thing I want to talk about too, and I want to be able to word this question properly. Obviously, we saw Rory withdraw from the Arnold Palmer, citing back tightness. Didn't really play too well at the Players. I mean, he made the cut, did what he could, but he wasn't going to be in the position to defend his title. But then you see him playing the TGO playoffs. So then the question I kind of have is like, man, are TGO playoffs more important than signature events at Bay Hill? Now, granted, I don't know how his body feels. Like his back was probably, let's say at a scale of 1 to 10, maybe it was like a 7 at Bay Hill. Then TGO is like, you know what? It's a 2 or 3. But in my mind, I'm kind of thinking like, there's no way Rory does any golf activity into the Masters. I don't think Rory's going to play in the Houston Open. He obviously didn't play this week at the Valspar. I'm thinking like, Rory's going to try to get his back to full 100% health and then take it from there. Now, granted, he could have thought like, I could just play this TGO match, win or lose, and then take my rest from there. But at first, I'm thinking like, are you willing to risk your back that's already kind of flared up for TGL, which might transition into the Masters? But Nate, I want to know your thoughts on that.
I mean, I wonder if he's thinking, because TGL is like, it's a lot less golf than playing your own round for 18 holes. A lot less
and walking. Yeah,
a lot
but
less.
Still rotation though. That's the thing. In a back injury, like if you had an ankle injury, and someone gave me that statement, I'll be like, makes sense. But
Dude,
with the
absolutely.
back,
yeah, like you're still putting a lot of torque on the spine when you swing, especially when you swing as hard as freaking Rory does.
Rory has great swing speed.
So, but I also wonder if because he cares less about it, he doesn't care about his performance as much. If he gets hurt, if he flares it up, he'll just be like, well, I'm done. It's not a big deal if I'm done.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's like the Arnold Palmer and he WDs early, he can let someone else come in and play the tournament. I don't know if he's thinking about that.
You doubt
it. But if you WD from the Arnold Palmer, a younger guy that's an up and comer.
It's like when Jake Knapp did it and gave Hung Tung Lee an opportunity.
Exactly. So I don't know what's going on in his mind. I will say even just the mental hurdle to do. If I was a guy on tour, I don't know what these guys. Maybe if we have Andrew Novak on and ask him, but it's
shout out to my Dolphin making that clutch putt on 18.
I know,
to make the cut. Shout out to Novak,
yeah. But it's what's the mental hurdle to do TGL versus the mental hurdle to just do a signature event? Because I feel like there's got to be more anxiety and that kind of stuff. Play a real golf tournament versus TGL. It's TGL. Whatever, screw it.
Fun. Yeah, true. The only reason why I asked that, and obviously people's bodies work totally different from one another, but Colin didn't play because he withdrew from the Players, and he's like, well, I'm not gonna play in this TGL match, but I'm gonna be there. I don't think Colin took a swing. And Colin's playing phenomenal golf. He's like, man, I'm not risking what I got going on right now because I look like vintage, Colin Morikawa. But yeah, I was just very curious. I'm like, man, it's very interesting that Rory, you decided to play in TGL with some issues going on with your back, because there's going to be even more attention towards Rory to defend. So, and I don't want, again, we said this before, I don't want to hear no excuse about, oh, my back hurts and you shouldn't play in TGL. But again, he could feel great. I can be totally wrong.
He still swung hard on TGL too.
He did.
Know what I'm saying?
He did. They gave it a good fight.
It was down to him and Max Homa on that they were 16. It was the 16th hole or something like that, and he still swung hard.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like if he's got like a few swings and he's like, I can just recover from this or whatever, you know.
Oh yeah, like
But-
5 more swings, I should be okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also like, why would you want to save the swings for TGL instead of even the Valspar? You know, like why would you?
Yeah. I don't think he was going to play in a regular event unless it's a signature event. That's why I was very curious about Bay Hill. But granted, like I said, his back could have been on scale 110 at a 7. And then by the time he got the TGL, maybe it was at a 2, where it's like, this is manageable pain. But because it's like there's nothing really, like TGL doesn't have anything historical where it's like, man, I got to play in this and like they need me. It's like.
Yeah, it'll hurt TGL more if he didn't play in TGL versus if he didn't play in other events. And I honestly wonder if like Tiger was in his ear, like, dude, Rory, we kind of need you for the ratings, that kind of stuff.
I don't think so, because I think, I say this kind of loosely, I think Rory has a similar mindset to Tiger when it comes to like being ready to play in majors and stuff. And I don't think Tiger would be selfish to be like, hey, I know your back's at 3 right now.
He would 100. Yeah.
Can you risk getting it to an 8 before the Masters? Like, I don't think Tiger would do that. But yeah, moving on, guys, we got the Houston Open next week. One that Minwoo Lee won last year, getting his first victory on the PGA Tour. Kind of got out of his sister shadows just a little bit, man. But we're not going to do a full breakdown because we're going to do our full breakdown for the Ford Championship. But, Nate, I do want to ask you, man, what are some things you're kind of hoping to see at the Houston Open? What do you want to see from some specific players? Let me hear your take.
So I'm trying to make sure that this guy's playing in it, but I want to see Homa do a little better. I want to see a little momentum going into the Masters for someone like Max Homa. Because he had done well in a few events earlier this year.
Right now.
But Homa had done well in a few events this year. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see. Dude, he is not playing in it.
Max Homa? Yeah, okay.
Never mind then.
Yeah,
No.
we still need to see him play better overall regardless.
I know. Or just consistently. But, you know, he always shines at the Masters, so I bet he's going to give us...
he does.
I bet he's going to do well in the Masters. I would say... You know, Brooks getting a little bit more consistent play.
Brooks is playing a lot better. Yeah.
I think, dude, you know what would be cool to see? Because I think Chris Gotterup is losing a little momentum.
A little bit.
The last couple of weeks kind of gone quiet, and it looked like he was going to be the guy to take down Scotty for a minute. For the first 2 months on tour, we thought he was going to take down Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty's taken down himself so far.
Yeah, only Scotty can take down Scotty, though. That's the thing.
Right.
But it would be cool to see him kind of find a little momentum. He didn't have to win or anything like that, but just go back to being number 1 strokes gained putting, or, you know, climb the ranks a little bit before the Masters, you know?
Yeah. I got 3 specific players I kind of want to just see make some noise at the Houston Open. One, obviously, being Scotty Scheffler. Obviously, you took the week off at the Valspar. There's probably much needed rest to kind of figure out some things with the driver that was being a little wayward for you. Obviously, you want to figure out your first round woes as well. And he loves playing in his home state. I think if Scotty can just get in the top 5, that's a win for him. And yeah, I've been getting. I think when you're in like sports commentary, sport analyst, or whatever like that, and obviously we're the most underrated golf podcast, but we're still in that category because we do this. You're not going to be able to appease everyone. So anytime I have a take on Scotty and it's not only, you know, glazing him or positive, I always get pushback. Even though all I said was like, man, Scotty's getting worse, and I said that loosely because, again, my example was if a player goes out and runs a 4.44 and then the next time he goes out and runs a 4.46, he ran a slower time. Doesn't mean it's a bad time. You just ran slower. So if Scotty's finishing 5th and then the next week 10th and the next week 24th and the next one 22, he's getting worse. And everyone just doesn't like to see the word worse in the same category with Scotty. However, with him playing in the Houston Open in his home state, I think for him to build confidence, well, not to say he lost confidence in himself, but I think the golf world is just so scared that they might be losing confidence in him, that him probably getting in the top 5 would be very good for his game, and hopefully he can figure out the driver. So that's one thing to be on the lookout at the Houston Open. The next thing is, I was very surprised that Ricky Fowler didn't play in the Valspar. Obviously, the top 50 players get into the Masters. Ricky is currently ranked 59th. So for him to not play in the Valspar, I was very concerned. Like, why would you take the risk of not playing? But he is in the field at the Houston Open. Ricky has been having a pretty solid year. Nothing like super like to wow you, but it isn't as bad as previous years. So I think Ricky Fowler is someone to look out for at the Houston Open because he's still trying to steady again the Masters. And the last person I got, man, which has kind of been a disappointing season for him, especially coming off the season he had last year, getting 3 victories, only 1 behind Scotty, is Ben Griffin, man. He's missed the last 3 cuts in a row, which has been very discouraging to see. Even before that, like I said, he wasn't playing that amazing. He was playing like steady Eddie golf, couple top 25s, maybe make some cuts and be like T42. But the expectation that we have for Ben Griffin has not been coming to light so far this year. So I think Ben Griffin has to find some momentum at the Houston Open before obviously getting into the Masters. So those are my 3 guys just to kind of look out for and see what type of noise they make. Would love to know who are some of your guys you want to look out for. Maybe a guy like Jordan Spieth. I'm not sure if Jordan Spieth's in the field. He should be. He's been kind of a tease this year. Has this vintage Spieth like 9 holes, and then kind of goes back to this stock market type Spieth where it's like up and down and up and down and up and down. So let me know your thoughts, man. What are y'all looking forward to see at the Houston Open? And would love to know. Would love to discuss and debate with you in the comments because me and Nate be watching. We're gonna move over to the most hated golf tour in the world, LIV Golf, man. Bryson DeChambeau and the Crushers crush it in South Africa. Bryson gets his back-to-back wins in LIV. Nate would love to know your thoughts on Bryson DeChambeau's victory, bro.
Dude, I didn't realize how emotional he was going to be because it like affected him when he won, you know?
Yeah.
But dude,
kept saying it's some stuff he can tell, some stuff he can't tell us that's been going on this week. I'm not going to speculate his personal life. But I'm happy to see the joy he had around his teammates, around the game of golf. I mean, he was quoted saying this is the best golf tournament that LIV has ever did. That was the best one, which is crazy because that was their inaugural event at South Africa.
It looked packed, and it's crazy to think how international golf is because the tour is pretty much America and Europe.
Yeah,
and that's about
not
it.
Even full 2 tournaments: Genesis Scottish and the Open.
Yeah, and they just do a little. I mean, because I think they don't want to be like on a DP's territory and stuff like that. But it's crazy because the South Africa team really drew a lot of crowds. And there was like that post. I remember a long time ago. It's like, look at Bryson hitting out of this ridiculous bunker and fighting, pigeon-sized mosquitoes in front of no one. And it's like, dude, there was tons of people at the last one when him and Richard Lee were going in the playoff.
That's the same tournament.
Exactly. I feel like there was a lot of people. I thought there was going to be. I was like, when I was tuning in, I thought it was like.
It's just, man, all they're doing is PGA
haters gonna
hate LIV. They just try to find the perfect angle. Be like, see how no one's right there around them. It's like, because there's water to the left, and no one's just going to stand in the water. They're on the other side of the rope. So like,
But dude, that crowd was phenomenal, and
it was.
Dude, I think
I low-key wanted the Southern Guards to win in their hometown, and maybe Bryson get the individual win.
Yeah, but man, I really think that's something that. Because the NFL's trying to go international more, and they're like, it's American football. It's not like it's not like golf where it's like it wasn't even invented in America. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So
you're right. Yeah.
And like golf has so many more international players than the NFL does, and
big time.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know how the PGA hasn't thought about that. Granted, I'm selfish. I want all the money to stay in America, and I want more tournaments in Arizona.
Big time,
man. Yeah, just taking a page out of the LIV Golf's playbook, bro. It was crazy. That crowd was ridiculous.
It was an amazing crowd, bro. And like I said, I really wanted the Southern Guards to win on their home territory, but I mean, good for Bryson, bro. I mean, this is something I think that Bryson needs. I think it's something that LIV Golf needs, and it's impressive too because the other face of the tour, was John Rahm. That's who he beat in the playoff.
And he was balling.
Rahm has been a steady, consistent top 5 guy for the longest. I think we always gave him a hard time because he wasn't winning, but then eventually did just get a victory. So I think this is good for LIV because if they can transition and do this in the majors, this is going to give LIV more notoriety. That again, because we love the same stigma that people go to LIV get worse, and I don't think it's necessarily true. I think just golf is just hard and people fluctuate all the time. However, if Rahm and Bryson can transition their play from LIV over to the majors, there's going to be some discussions. And like I said, I like the strife between the two. I really do. I know Brando hates it. I'm sorry, Brando, but I love the strife between the two because it's kind of like, for me, it's almost like when you get the opportunity to see the NFC Conference All-Stars go against the AFC Conference All-Stars, and then like you just kind of bring them together. It's like, all right, who's going to duke it out? I just personally like it. But I think this was an incredible win for Bryson DeChambeau to go back-to-back. And also get the team victory as well. Like I said, it's just crazy for him to be like, first off, this event was sold out. It was sold out.
Dude.
Every time we hear these negative... Yeah, go ahead.
Dude, they thought it was the Super Bowl or something, bro. Like, and it was just like a regular LIV golf event.
Regular LIV, yep.
Sorry,
and
what were you?
No. And that's the truth of it. And it's just funny because like we see a lot of negative things about LIV's a dying league, so on and so on. I think in a lot of like inaugural things that start, you lose money before you make it. And there's a possibility with the way things are going that, LIV still has an opportunity to continue to grow. Now, even if they don't grow financially, again, they have unlimited money. They just love golf. They can just keep doing this all they want. But the way things are just kind of looking for LIV and what's been going on in terms of the players and stuff like that, I mean, there's high chances that, they do make a profit at some point, maybe. But the thing that I said is good about Bryson DeChambeau playing well, it's something you said, man. You were like, you don't think Bryson seeing Anthony Kim win makes him possibly want to stay on LIV? And then this week he's talking about like, yo, this was the best tournament ever in LIV history. He just won back-to-back. I wonder if there's some speculation in Bryson's head like, man, maybe I will re-sign here. Now, obviously, you have to give him what he's worth. I still think $500 million is a little bit of a stretch. But him being the face of the league and he's playing better, bringing more attention to LIV golf, even that's not to say he never was. There's a hope that maybe Bryson extends outside 2026. We see Rahm is, in my opinion, fighting for his schedule with LIV. He's like, no, I'm going to play on LIV. Like, you can't punish me outside. It's because I want to play on this tour. So your two faces seem adamant about like, yo, I'm here to stay. Now, looks a little bit more solidified with Rahm as opposed to Bryson, but the way things are projecting and going on, this can be really good. Now, if Bryson continues to win on LIV and bring more attention, his action price might go up, so that might be a little bit scary. But it looks like Bryson's finally having fun because the offseason, every time he did an interview, I'm like, he does not look happy. And as things have been progressing with the LIV season, it's like Bryson looks a little bit more happy, And you just kind of hope by the time those 14 events end that we can get Bryson like, man, come on, sign through with us, and let's see what can happen, man. But great event in South Africa. Shout out to Bryson DeChambeau. Shout out to the Crushers. Shout out to the Southern Guards for getting second place, man. And Rahm, just shout out for your consistency, getting another, top 5 in LIV. Nate, another thing I want to talk about, which I was kind of getting some pushback on this on TikTok and stuff like that, and I held my ground. Some people agreed. But Phil Mickelson returns, and Michael LaSasso's play definitely picked up in Phil's presence. And everyone's like, oh, well, he's a grown, like he should figure out, he chose to go to that league, he better figure out on his own. I'm just like, that doesn't work like that for everyone. I think sometimes we have this expectation that a lot of people are going to come to the league and pretty much do with like Beckham did his rookie year and just kind of, I'm just a star. Some people, it takes time. They need to be groomed. They want to be Johnny Football in terms of what?
Well, just if because remember he was all like, hey,
he had mentorship.
Well, because he's like, Brian Hoare didn't help me at all.
Yes.
That's why I didn't study tape. I didn't behave like a professional.
Right. Now, granted though, it's not Brian Hoare's responsibility to do so, but we see that some guys do appreciate taking on the role as a mentor to a younger guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Even like Andrew Luck, people will say like if he would have saw how you don't have to like mentor in a very formal sense, but like if he would have just saw an example of how Peyton Manning worked with management and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because Pat McAfee would be like, Andrew Luck was too nice and never asked for anything, never pounded the table for anything.
Yeah.
Which might have hurt his career. Which
like give me some old lineman.
Luck,
I'm the most sacked quarterback. Give me old. Yeah.
If he was like a better version of Andrew Luck, which he was already unbelievable.
He was great. He was phenomenal.
But like, yeah, so something like that with LaSasso could have been.
Well, see, that's the point that that's what I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
When Phil is there, I mean, we only got one tournament to kind of prove my point. But in Phil's absence, I mean, Michael LaSasso finished T41 in Riyadh. Adelaide he finished T32. Hong Kong he finished T55. And Singapore he finished 55th. This week in South Africa, both Saturday and Sunday, he fired off 8 under on both days, finished with his highest finish at T12. That's crazy. Again, this is the same week that Phil came back. And there was that tape prior to the tournament of Phil kind of helping out his team in its totality, hitting chips out of the rough. And Michael LaSasso is right next to him, just kind of taking in all that information. That is what LaSasso wanted when he came to LIV. I mean, I'm sure obviously he wanted the bread too. But like, man, I get to learn under Phil and be on his team. And again, we see this in the league. Not everybody comes in the league as a rookie and they're just a superstar off the back. Some people need to be an understudy. They need to take time to be mentored. For example, like I said last week, Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. Sat 3 years, learned under Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love's a phenomenal quarterback. Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes does give Alex Smith some credit. Granted, Alex Smith is not in the aura of a Phil Mickelson or Aaron Rodgers, but Patrick Mahomes,
a professional.
He's a professional, a Pro Bowler, and he's credited Alex Smith to the growth of where he is in his game. And also a guy, Kurt Warner to Eli Manning. Everyone forgets Kurt Warner played for the Giants.
That's right.
Same thing. Mentorship is super important. And LaSasso is a guy that wants that and maybe needs it. And if he does, that's okay. But right now, so far, my take stands correct. When Phil Mickelson is there, and he has the mentor that he wants. Looks like he's playing some better golf, and he finished with his best finish at T12. So I'm gonna stand on that.
Dude,
you guys can give me pushback still.
Yeah, he was like very bottom of the pack to now top of the pack, like consistently bottom of the pack. And again, like it doesn't have to, I mean, I'm sure Phil is a little bit more formal with his mentorship than probably Kurt Warner was to Eli Manning and stuff like that, and for sure what Aaron Rodgers was to Jordan Love. But again, just the example, just watching Phil hit this shot and just thinking, oh, I would have not hit it that way. That's like, granted, you have to be in the posture to learn. I think so my Johnny Football example probably goes out the window because he wasn't in the state of mind to learn, if you will. Right. But even then, like I bet Michael LaSasso was just like so eager to see how Phil does his preparation, how Phil hits certain shots, how he manages. I mean, Phil, one of the best scramblers of all time.
Big time. Short game's amazing.
So, like, he was a top scrambler when he won the Masters, whenever he won it, you know? And so I bet LaSasso was just like, oh, I didn't even know that was an option. I got to like mentally take notes and stuff. And just having the security of Captain Phil there, unofficial captain, or is he official captain?
No, he's the captain. He's the captain of the High Flyers.
Having Captain Phil there, dude, it's crazy how much it elevated this game. You know, I don't think the course was that different than what it was last week. That the course was the denominator. I think it was Captain Phil.
I think so. I think that plays a huge part. And a lot of people on TikTok again, and I love the people on TikTok because I think that's where we get some of our best traction at. But they were just like, well, there are other vets on the team. I'm like, for sure, he can still, you know, get advice from these vets. But again, it's almost like, do you want to be mentored by Peyton Manning, or do you want to be mentored by? And I don't want to disrespect any quarterback, but do you want to be mentored by a lifelong journeyman that has played 10 years in the NFL? Like, yeah, you can still. Here's an example. I'll make fun of
Josh
myself.
McCown.
I'll make fun of myself, not because I didn't want to throw another guy in the bus. I'll make fun of myself. Let's say hypothetically as a rookie when I was on the Giants and Sterling Shepard comes in as a second-round pick. It's like, Sterling, would you rather learn under Odell Beckham or would you rather learn under me? I have insight and stuff like that, but like not to the point of like what Odell has. So you're probably going to get a lot more from him because of the success he's had in the league versus me, who's just a special teamer. Like I can give you a little bit of run away, which can be conducive to your game, but not to the ceiling or expertise that Odell Beckham Jr. has, right?
Yeah.
And
I think the talent has to match, because it's like I bet you could give great advice on how to make the roster.
Yeah, for sure.
Stuff like that, you know.
Yeah,
whereas
yeah.
like if
and that's what I'm saying. Like
Odell,
those vets, I'm saying like those vets on high flyers, they can still give Michael LaSasso great advice for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead though. Continue.
Yeah, but I was just saying, like, if he wants advice on how to be arguably one of the greatest of all time, you know, if Tiger didn't exist, I think we would be throwing Phil with the, maybe not Jack Nicklaus, but like the Gary Players of the world, you know?
Yes, for sure. Or maybe we would, because maybe he'll have a PGA.
Because he could have more wins.
Yeah, he'd have a US Open.
He'd have a US Open. Yeah, maybe. So, yeah, who knows, right? Who knows? But I think the lessons that Phil has learned being at the very top, the expectations is also really hard. Like Phil was at the top, and now this Michael LaSasso, who's a defending national champ, has a lot of expectations. Other vets might not know how to manage that, or might not provide that great of advice, whereas Phil could easily get to that level with him. And
the year that I won the Masters this is what I was doing. The year that I won the PGA Championship, this is what worked for me.
And this is what they were saying.
Open, yes.
Yeah. This is what I was doing, and this is what they were saying about me. Yeah. And how do I defend that? Or, how do I repeat? Because Phil had good year after good year after good year.
Consistent.
Michael LaSasso had one good year last year, winning the national championship. How do you defend that going into a professional golf league?
Yeah.
So I think like Phil can really help him. Like, this is what they were saying about me. And with the internet now, you can see everything that everybody's saying about you. Yeah. Like, how do you deal with that mentally? The other pros, the other vets might not have that notoriety to know how to deal with that.
Mm-hmm. Good take. Guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments again. How important is mentorship in sports, man? Do you agree that, I don't want to say do you agree, but like, how do you take that Michael LaSasso game has improved with the presence of Phil Mickelson? Just want to know your thoughts. We're going to move over to women's golf, man, because me and Nate do appreciate women's golf, and I have friends on the LPGA as well as the Epson Tour. So first, shout out to the Epson Tour. My homegirl, Maddie Mccary, who is a former guest on Golf and Gospel, wins in Orlando, shooting 3 under on day 4 or day 3. They do 3 days, shooting 11 under in his total. Day 2, she played fantastic, shot 8 under, and she was bogey-free the whole weekend, getting her first victory in professional golf. So shout out to my homie Maddie McCary. Go watch that episode of Golf and Gospel. I played horrible, but she played good, and you can see where Maddie's heart lies. Maddie, again, shout out to you for winning in Orlando. Next, obviously the LPGA is still currently going on right now. Thus far from the golf we have seen, I've been giving this LPGA golfer a hard time, which is Nelly Korda. Me saying I need to see how she's going to do in 72 before I give her flowers, because she got her victory in 54. So far from some of the golf you've seen from Nelly, how have you been accessing her so far this year or this tournament?
Dude, I mean, throughout the year, she's been strokes gained #1, best scoring average on LPGA Tour.
Yeah.
They haven't taken into account this tournament yet, but last I saw, she was second.
So you're right. But right now she's back only 1 stroke.
Get out of town.
And HJ Kim.
Hyoju Kim?
Yeah, she was freaking up 7 strokes. No, but at the end of the day, she was up 5 strokes.
She was up 5.
Yeah.
Yes, going into today.
Nelly comes back and wins this. Yeah, you shut me up, Nelly. You definitely did.
Dude, Nelly is she was balling this week. I feel like Hyoju Kim actually caught lightning in a bottle, because she was making long putts Friday and Saturday.
She was, and she was the winner of the Ford Championship last year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But she was making long putts Friday, and Hyoju Kim was amazing with her irons. This whole week.
Yeah.
So that was just, and she's always been like down the middle with her driver too, but man, If Nelly wins, bro,
That's gonna be crazy. Nelly currently right now as we're speaking, obviously this podcast is gonna come out and we're gonna know who won already. But currently as we're speaking, Nelly is 5 under right now. Freaking Minji Lee's 5 under right now, and Mai Yamashita is 5 under right now. The only thing is Nelly is one stroke
they're
back from
through
the lead.
11.
Yes. So my take on Nelly, bro, is I thought the first 2 days that I watched her, I thought iron play and wedge play looked amazing, but putter was still a little bit shaky. Not to the point where it's like, dang, she is, +1. Because I think last year it was a combination of putter and wedges. Her iron and wedges looked super good. She just kept getting on the green and maybe just, regular 2-putt, get out of there. But now I think, oh, man, like, are we seeing 2024 Nelly? I mean, it's only been 2 tournaments, which the first one I don't want to count at all. But, man, if Nelly wins this one, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, people listen to Golf and Gospel podcast and they look to prove us wrong. Brooks went to prove us wrong. He did last week, and Nelly's looking to prove us wrong, or at least me. Nate didn't give Nelly a hard time like I did, but I didn't like the overhyping of the 54-hole victory she had in Florida because she was winning. My take. But right now, man, if H.J. Kim doesn't lock in on the green, this will be an incredible comeback, and we're probably going to see this everywhere if Nelly ends up winning. But in my take, the person who's playing way better than Nelly and playing better than any golfer in the world right now is freaking Hannah Green, bro. Hannah Green just got her 3rd win in a row. And it's crazy to say this because this is the same female tour pro. They got 51st at the CME Tour last year. And now she's just playing flat out incredible. I mean,
That's
she's won
crazy.
she's won the LPGA and the Asian Swing, and she's won 2 on let. And I'm very disappointed because I was hoping she was going to play in the forward. She's not going to be able to play in the forward because obviously that transition from I want to see her playing, but it's not being talked about enough. Now, granted, maybe because she's not winning in America, it's not going to be as advertised on the LPGA. But I think Hannah Green right now, as I'm speaking, is the best golfer currently right now. Not like overall, like Gino's still number 1. Don't get me wrong. But like, man, if we had to analyze the last month of women's golf, I would say, the best golfer right now is Hannah Green, without question. So, I mean, shout out to her, man, getting 3 wins in a row. And someone else I definitely want to shout out to before we get to our predictions of the Ford Championship is Lee Six. And specifically why I want to shout her out is because I got to play in the Pro-Am with her at the Ford Championship. She's an amazing young lady, but more so because she lost a card and she had to go play on the Epson Tour. Or she got partial status, excuse me. And I remember as I played her on Golf and Gospel, where I did a scramble with her, she talked about, like, man, I've been changing my swing, so I haven't really figured it out yet. And she was telling me how she was fighting a 2-way miss. And it's crazy I got this insight. I mean, it's probably known now, but like she was telling me this like right next to her, which was really cool. She was fighting a 2-way miss, and I think that unfortunately translating throughout the entirety of LPGA season where she ended up dropping down to the Epson Tour. She won on the Epson Tour last week, then flew out here, played in the Monday qualifier, made the cut, and now she's playing this weekend at the Founders Cup, man. So shout out to Lee Six, man. I mean, that's just crazy to just go through all that. And they said when she flew from Florida, and there is our special guest right on time as we're actually talking about women's golf. The homie Annabelle Pancake Webb, man. So before we get into our forward predictions, we're gonna jump down. We're gonna get Annabelle started right now, man. So for a lot of you guys who don't know Annabelle, she's a 2-time All-ACC player out of Clemson. She's a winner on the NXXT this year as well, too, right, Annabelle? I believe you won early in the season. Absolutely. And she's also the winner of the first ever Content Creator Showdown on the Epson Tour. Her and the homie, Tali Taloy, beating a few of us. And it's crazy because I threw the event and me and Haley got last. But Annabelle was in my group, and I'm just like, first off, Nate, you talk about hitting bombs. I outdrove her once. She was disappointed I outdrove her once. But everything else, I'm like, I'm not lighting the candle to Annabelle at all. And then she was throwing darts. Putter got hot, and I think going into hole 9, the final stretch, it's just like, well, they can do no wrong here. So you just kind of knew they were winning after they birdied. I think either 16 or 17, man. So her and Tali got hot. But Annabelle, man, first off, thank you for taking the time to come on Golf and Golf podcast. First, Annabelle, this is my boy Nate Wong. Played college golf at Nebraska. Yep.
Nice. Nice to meet you.
Also loves Jesus as well, man. So we all got a lot in common here, man. But absolutely, man. I just want to start off asking a few questions. So, like I said, you already picked up your first win at the NXXT. I think you're playing phenomenal. I kind of texted you earlier in the day saying, like, man, you're picking up where you left off last year, getting the T5, the Tour Championship. So far, your 3-3 cuts made, one with a solo second or a T2, I believe.
Yeah, T2. Yep, I think
T2.
so.
Yep. And then did you officially
Nice.
finish in the top 25 this week? I saw Maddie just won, so I'm super happy about that.
Yes, I know. I'm so
Yeah.
happy for her. I think I ended up getting tied 23rd. So,
Okay, still
yeah,
top 25, and then you got
the top
T15 the
25.
week
Yeah.
before. So you're playing incredible golf right now. What would you
Yeah.
say is the difference between your golf last year as opposed to some of the things you did at the end of the season carrying into this year?
Well, first, thank you for having me. I'm so
Yeah.
thankful to be here.
Yeah.
But I mean, the end of the year was just a big confidence booster for me, just knowing that I could play with the best. I mean, I've always kind of known that, but it just never really happened during the season last year. And I had a lot going on. My husband and I were getting married and trying to figure out where we were going to live, so there was just a lot going on there. But
Yeah, for sure.
I think at the end, I was able to find something in my swing that really clicked, and my putting as well. And that's been my main focus going into this coming year. Is I want to be one of the best putters out there because just about anybody can hit it. Everyone can pretty much hit it far and
Yeah.
hit it close, but it's the people who can make those 10, 15, 20 footers that
That
makes all the
separate. Yeah.
difference. Yeah.
If you guys go watch the Content Creator Showdown, she showed evidence of making those 10 and 15 foot putters, man. Have you always been left hand low?
I have not. I actually
Okay.
started in college. I don't know. My one of my good teammates in college, Melena Barrientos, she is one of the best putters I had ever seen, and she always did left hand low, and so I just kind of copied her with it, and I've stuck with it. Honestly, it's really nice because it just gets rid of the like not yips, but the yip feeling. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
gives me a
Yeah.
little bit more
Whatever you can
confidence
do.
with that.
I
Yeah.
switched to
Whatever
claw
you can
grip.
do to cure. Dude, that's funny because I switched my grip in college, and I don't know, probably half of my teammates switched their grips in college. So I'm left hand low, but I'm left handed though. So
Yes, that's a little different.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a little
yeah.
Yeah.
different.
So it's a little different. Yeah.
It's
So
a
that
big,
doesn't really
it's a big
count.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, Annabelle, I also want to ask you this too. You talked about obviously having some improvements in regards to your swing. I saw on day one you were 10 to 18 green regulation, but day two you improved dramatically. You're 15 to 18 green regulation. What would you say that improvement came in regards to your iron and wedge play?
Yeah, my irons are one of my biggest strengths is just the compression on the ball that I have and my consistency with that. But yeah, day one, I don't know. It was just I wasn't hitting them solid. And when I'm hitting it solid, it makes all the difference because
I
the
know.
wind doesn't have the
I know.
effect. Yeah. Yeah. So when it's solid, the wind isn't affecting it. It just does not have near as much spin and movement. So um today and yesterday I was able to just find some compression again and get it on the center of the club face, and that just made all the difference.
That's awesome, man. Like I said, I love rooting you guys on. I need to stop you ladies on because so Bruce Quickle, who's a great friend, catches Virginia Kim, his wife watches our podcast all the time, and she was
Okay.
like, "You got to stop saying you guys." So I'm like trying to be cognizant of make sure I'm saying you ladies
You
and stuff like that. Yeah,
ladies. Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, I
I'll do
say
one
guys all the time. Yeah.
all the time,
Even
kind of
if
just like a
it's,
I do
generic term.
too.
Yeah,
yeah, just
but
like a,
yeah, I want the respect. I want the respect it. I'm gonna ask one more question, and I know Nate obviously has some questions as well. So obviously you ladies are about to go on this West Coast run. What are some things strategically you do from your golf game, East versus West Coast type golf?
Ooh, that's a good question. I wouldn't say I really changed anything. I mean, I'm always trying to just beat the golf course,
For sure.
and I'm trying to think the courses that we play. I mean, short game wise, things might change in like Arizona because the lies can be
Yeah.
really tight around the greens, so I can be
Yeah.
more creative with like using a 7 wood and
Hmm.
putting with that. I
Yeah.
did that a lot in Atlantic Beach and
Yes.
Jacksonville,
Yes. Haley was
'cause
teaching me that last year.
I hear
it's
Florida's got
so
tight
effective.
lies. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
kept trying to
it's
chip
such an
like an idiot.
effective shot. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. With the grain, it's tough. Like that's
Yeah.
what makes chipping so hard is that leading edge can dig and it's hard to be
Hmm.
Yeah.
consistent. But if you can use a wood, it's like chipping but putting combined, and
Yeah.
you're using a wood. But it works.
Yeah,
I
and
would
it's
never
funny
do
because
that.
Nate's a big Nate has his whole take on this, but Nate mentioned that because we were breaking down the the Phoenix Open, we were talking about that lie and how it's so pressed, and I think that's what kind of affected a lot of the golfers' short game because they kept trying to chip.
They like just
against,
duffed a bunch of chips.
And they was just
Yeah.
duffing chips, and they probably should have. And maybe it's a guy's pride. They're like, well, no, I can chip this. It's like, just take that 7-wood and just go ahead and dink it up there and figure it out from there.
It's honestly more impressive, in my opinion, because no
is.
one does it.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Nate, well, what questions do you have for Annabelle?
I was thinking like in college we had and in high school, I never won it in college, but we'd have chipping contests and be like, all right, we're going to go through the whole bag and you have to use like every club in your bag and we're just going to like throw a shot out and then you got to use that club. And I won that once in high school and I was like, I'm the best short game artist ever. And I never won again.
That's awesome.
Oh, but I just, first off, thanks for being on, but can you talk about kind of your career? And so you were at Clemson, and is this your second year on the Epson Tour?
Yes. Yep. Year 2.
Yeah, so like how did year 1 go? How was the transition from college to the Epson Tour? And then what's kind of the outlook going into this year?
Yeah. I mean, the transition is very drastic. It's bigger than what I was expecting, just because you're going from a completely controlled environment in college. Your coach is scheduling everything for you. They're paying for everything pretty much. And you kind of just show up. Practice is made for you. You get on the bus, you get on the flight, they take you where you're supposed to go, and you just know that everything's set. Where now I am doing that all myself. So that was kind of a big transition, is like figuring out the scheduling of events and where I'm going to stay. And my mom was able to help me a lot with that.
Shout out to my dog, Libby.
Yes, Libby, we love her. She still helps me out now. Like, she's great. But, and also the level of competition. I mean, obviously, when you go from high school to college, you realize everyone in college is the best player from their high school. Like, you're all good. And then when you go from college to professional, it's like a whole nother level. Like, everybody could play good at any moment. It's just a matter of who can do it the most consistently, the most often, and put themselves in the um, position to be in the final group. Like, to have the chance to win is such a fun feeling. Like, you don't get it very much in golf. So when you do, you got to take advantage of it. And even if you don't win, you just got to learn from it and take it to the next time so that you can be ready the next time that you're in that position. But yeah, it's been super fun just to be a part of Epson Tour. I mean, it's such an amazing tour. All the girls are so friendly. The staff's great. They truly want to get you to the next level in the LPGA. And so I'm really excited for this year.
Yeah, and I second that. I mean, Allie's awesome, Matt's awesome, Isaiah's awesome. Hunter, who's one of the new camera guys, he's awesome, man. I do enjoy the staff at the Epson Tour as well, and I think you ladies are uberly talented, man. I wish there was an opportunity to watch you guys televised. Obviously, that's not the case, but like I said, I just have a lot of you guys' favorite. I'm just sitting there refreshing, just trying to see the leaderboard move because you guys are so talented. But Nate, continue too if you got another question for.
No, I was just going to say, like, so how does it work when you transition? Are you, like, trying to find sponsors? And then how does the sponsorship work? Like, are you like, oh, I can't compress your freaking irons, so I'm not going to work with you? Or, yeah.
I would say every person's different in this. I am not necessarily searching for sponsors. The only sponsorships I really have are with clubs. I'm with Titleist, and then clothing. I've not contractually, but I'm working with FootJoy. So those are really the main things. But when it comes to like being paid, I don't really have much of that. But I mean, some girls are more into that. They're really into social media and they get a lot of sponsorships through that. I'm kind of just dipping my foot into that. So I'm like, I wouldn't say I have a lot of experience with doing that, but I know some girls really get a lot of good sponsorships.
Like Savannah Carlson, she's very, very good at social media. Yeah, she does. She's probably one of the meccas on tour that does really good in social media.
Yes,
yeah,
sure.
I know the homie
she
Sarah
has the
White.
Personality for it too.
She does. I know the homie Sarah White's trying to get better at it as well. She's starting to do a lot of stuff. My dog Nicole LaRupp, she's trying to get better at it and stuff. I think Nicole actually kind of snagged a few this offseason. What is it?
Nice. Yeah.
I forgot what clothing brand it was, but yeah, I seen her get a couple.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
some girls wearing it. Yep.
yes, absolutely. I want to ask this question, Nate. Now, let to get back to you, man. So I'm going to start this rumor with the Carlisle Classic. I'm going to say that the Carlisle Classic is a major for the Epson Tour. Biggest purse on tour. Not everyone can get into the field. Obviously, I believe it's maybe 2 tournaments away. What does your preparation look like going into a tournament with the magnitude that the Carlisle Classic has, which again is going to be the Epson Tour major?
Yeah. I well, it's weird that we have a month off until
Yeah,
then. It's a
right.
very interesting. You play 3 events and then you have like a month break. So
Hmm.
from now until then, I'm actually going to keep playing. I have some pro-ams. I'll play in a Monday qualifier and then my US Open qualifier. So I'm going to try and stay competitive because I
Yeah.
feel like my game feels
Good
really
luck.
good right now. Thank you. So I think that's so key when you're playing well as too, is just to like keep the momentum going. Even if you're not in competition, staying competitive so you're like still feeling that same feeling that you're in a tournament. So I'll do some of that, but honestly, my mindset doesn't really change towards those events. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
like I
good.
said earlier, I'm always just trying to beat the golf course. Like something my dad and I talk about, if you just live under par, if you beat each 9 by 1 at least, you're probably going to make almost every single cut and you're probably going to get
Probably.
some pretty good placements, and that's bare minimum. If you just beat the course every single day and you shoot 3 under or 4 under if it's a 4-day event, you're going to do pretty well. And on the weeks where you get hot, even better. Like then you'll finish higher.
Yeah.
So that's always going to be my mindset, I would
Yeah,
say,
that's good.
because it works pretty well most of
That's
the
awesome.
time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to overhype the Carlisle Classic because
It's a good one though.
it is
It's
a
the
good one,
major.
and
Yeah.
it's a major
Yeah.
for the Epson Tour. So Ali or
Yeah.
Matt, if y'all hear this, that's the type of pressure I'm putting on the Carlisle Classic. Absolutely. But no, the one thing you said too is just obviously I know you ladies do like these strings of like 3 tournaments on the Southeast, and then you go to the West, and you go to the Midwest. And you got this month-long break. It's kind of what Bryson DeChambeau said with regards to LIV Golf, like because LIV kind of has a similar structure to Epson Tour, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
for his YouTube channel, he'll go and say like, all right, I'm gonna see if I can break this course record because he wants to stay in a competitive mindset.
Yeah.
Like I have to do something so I don't. And Bryson just won back-to-back tournaments this week in golf, so I think they're about going another break. So I know he's going to continue to try to stay competitive. But I'm happy you
Yeah.
said it because I was always curious, like, man, what do you ladies do on this break? I know some ladies go and do some things for backswing golf events. Shout out to Mackenzie Ling, good friend of mine as well. And then I like that take. I think I don't know when the women's All Pro Tour starts. That's not going on now, right?
I honestly don't know.
Okay, no, because I know some ladies will
It
go
might
play in an
be.
NXT or a Women's All Pro Tour
Yes.
just to like I gotta continue to
Mhm.
stay in competition and stuff like that. But that's awesome. Yeah, you're gonna be doing a couple pro-ams and getting ready.
Yeah.
I hope you qualify for the USL because I enjoyed watching it last year because obviously Haley Cooper got the T7th. We were
Yes.
rooting on
Mhm.
Sophia Hausman. I think Sophia got like 45th, which was awesome to see
She
as
made the
well. So
cut
yeah,
at
yeah,
Erin
yeah. So
Hills.
I love rooting you ladies on. Nate, you
Yeah.
have another question?
No, I mean I liked what you said about the beat the course by 1 every 9 because you kind of just can chunk it up, and that's what Tiger would do. He would say something like, "Oh, just think about it like this: if you birdie half the par fives and you're even on the rest, you're gonna shoot, 8 under on
Mhm.
every round, and that's or every tournament, and that's gonna be pretty good living on tour. You know what I'm saying? So
Big
Yeah.
I
time.
think,
Big time.
yeah, just thinking about it like that, just kind of chunking it up, makes it a lot more digestible and a lot less anxious. Speaking of
Yeah.
which, so uh, playing golf tournaments pretty nerve wracking. Like, do you have like a strategy for like how you like talk down the nerves? Or I guess this is a better question is what's the most nervous you've been in a tournament, and what was the tournament?
That's such an easy answer. It was the Augusta National Women's Amateur. I was so and I
Oh
don't really
yeah.
get nervous for tournaments anymore. I mean, obviously I care. I'm excited, I would say. That one, my heart was pounding over that first shot, and I remember I think I started on 10, and I mean, it was like a toe shank isn't even possible, but that's what I did. I hit it straight off the toe, and it went straight right into this tree, and it came down, and I literally was like, "Oh my gosh." I hit it. It was so bad. I think I had like 240 in. It was a par 4, and it was
Yeah,
like, "Oh
downhill.
gosh, you're supposed to have a wedge," and I had a wood out of like the pine straw. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I've totally been there.
So I guess on
But
the in the same way, like yeah, how'd you control those nerves? Like what were some practices you had with that?
yeah, I'm starting to learn a lot more about the power of just breathing, just taking a deep breath, what that can do for you physically, mentally. So I mean that really helps. Also just in my head, I mean, some might say this isn't great, but I kind of make it not feel as important. Like I know it's important and I care about it and it's obviously important to me, but I also put it in perspective and know like, okay, we're all gonna go to dinner tonight and the sun's gonna rise tomorrow and God is still on the throne. Like my identity is
That
not wrapped
helps.
up in a number. And it helps so much because it obviously I care, I work hard. This is something that God has like, put in my life as it's very important. But I'm not gonna be on my deathbed thinking about this round of golf. I'm actually gonna forget it in like probably a week and no one's gonna
That's a
remember.
great
So
perspective.
just
Yeah.
like trying to change my mindset on golf and like tournament play, it makes me just relax and honestly enjoy it more because I put less pressure on myself and I'm just able to play the game that I love. So
That's
See, I,
such a great perspective.
big
Yeah.
time, and I love that. In that you've heard me say this verse plenty of times when Paul's in prison, looking at Philippians 4:11. He says, "Not that I'm in need, but in whatever situation I'm in, I've learned to be content." And even
mhm,
like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you know what? I just shot +2, got 50th, but like,
yeah,
I'm content. I just won. I'm still at this content. It's crazy because, like you said, we're so competitive. We want to do well. But Paul said, like, I learned to be content. Like, he had to practice being content
yeah,
in whatever situation this is. And I think that's very difficult for an athlete because our mindset is always on
right,
stride to, I got to win, I got to win, I got to win. And we
right.
should have a
Mhm.
mindset to win. But like, if we really put in our full effort and let's say we end up getting 15th, like I'm content. I'm very
Right.
content with that. Not complacent, but we're content. So I love
Exactly.
I
You're
love that
still
take you had.
competitive and you care, but
Yeah,
it's not life and death on what you
Yeah.
shoot, how you play. Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's
I don't
kind
think
of
there's
go
anything
ahead, Nate. Yeah,
wrong. I was gonna say there's not anything wrong with that because I feel like for me, whenever I prepped, and granted, I wasn't that great. Wasn't that high of an achiever, but it was like what we always try to do is we always try to make our like practices feel like a tournament. So it's like you have to do this many shots in a row. So then the second and last shot, you're like nervous, and then you can kind of recreate the nerves. But then in a tournament, we just try to make it feel as much like practice as you can. And I think
Mm.
I have zero hate. I don't think anything less of that because you're just trying to turn it into like I could do this, and the nerves are the things that are saying you can't do it. So how do you switch that off? And yeah, I think that's a great strategy. What were you gonna say, Jeremy?
no, I was just gonna say, Annabelle, don't let Nate fool you. I mean, he didn't have like the success he wanted in golf, but Nate's a very good golfer. He always
I'm
shakes his
Yeah, but
head
sure.
like he is a very good golfer. Nate be like, man, I just shot 74 today. I'm like, bro, I just shot 88.
yeah,
So,
but that's
like,
yeah.
but
74 is not
and,
bad.
and Nate is doing this
I
from the
feel like
championship
around
tees though.
There we
I feel like
go.
Yeah.
around these pro golfers, it's like, dude, this guy. I feel like I could have beat some influencers, bro. So that's why I'm like, I'm not
But
that
see,
good.
I think with Nate, it's just the mental. Like if I was on Nate's bag, I think Nate would get a lot done because I'm not gonna make Nate think about golf. I'm, and that's kind of when I caddied for Nicole last year at the Carlisle Classic. That's kind of what me and Nicole was doing. We're talking about Taylor Swift, Disney movies, like, and then be sometime it's like, hey, what was that shot I hit on hole 8? Oh, well, the wind was off the right. You use your gap wedge and like stuff like that. But like me and Nicole would just talk about anything but golf. And I think if I was on
Yeah.
Nate's bag and we did that, he wouldn't overthink it. And then Nate also is stubborn because Nate is a draw hitter. And he's always just trying to hit fades. I'm like, for what?
Hey, hey, I want to control the golf ball around the green. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nate does this off the tee.
Fair point.
Not trying to hear that, man. But No, that's great. So, one thing I do want to get into since we have you here, and I would definitely love to hear your take on this. For the listeners, we will get into the Ford Championship, breaking down the Ford Championship. We just don't want to take up too much of your time, Annabelle. Our faith portion today was how do you deal with fear as a Christian, if that's in competition, that's in life. We'd love to know what type of biblical reliances or practices you do to deal with fear.
That's so interesting that you bring that up because recently in the last three events, something that I've been really working on is I've just the phrase no having no fear has been consistent in my head. And that's just when it comes to my play, I'm a very aggressive player. So anytime that I start to get nervous or it's coming down to the wire, I'm like close to the cut line, I start to get like almost a little, I back off, I slow down my swing, I try and control it a little more. And this year I've just been really trying to be like, no fear, keep swinging aggressive, 100%
No
confidence.
fear.
And
Yes.
yeah, because what is there to fear? I mean, it's like, it's again about the perspective. I'm like, why am I fearing something that is like, it just doesn't matter. If it goes in the water, it goes in the water and I'm going to drop one. But if it makes it on the green on a par 5 and 2 over water and I can have a putt for eagle, heck yeah. Like that's what we
Yeah.
play this game for. Like the exciting
Yeah,
moments like that.
that's
No
awesome.
one remembers the guy that laid up, that's what, or the girl
Yeah,
that laid up. So
exactly.
that's,
No one remembers that shot. And when you pull it off, you like your heart's racing a little bit, but it feels so good. Like it's those moments that it's like, okay, I was a little bit nervous, but I pulled it off and it was so exciting. Yeah, just having no fear and knowing that like again, this is not my identity, God's in control and like why not just have fun with it, you know?
I love that. I think it's in Psalms 56:3. It says, "When I'm afraid, I put my trust in the Lord." And it's like, man, how often are we truly practicing that? I think a lot of times and I won't say we, I'll say myself. Sometimes I put too much dependency on my work ethic to show for in this situation in my life. If it's on the golf course, on the football field, and it's like, why am I not ultimately putting my trust in the Lord to help me in this situation, right? I mean, he talks about also in 1 Peter 5, like if you can cast your worries, cast your anxiety, cast your fears on him because he cares for us. But why am I
Mm,
not using him? Like the Lord is essentially the best caddy to be dependent on
absolutely.
in life. But I think at times, mainly I'm saying myself, I won't speak for everybody, like we lack practicing that. And that's one thing I'm trying to do better at when it comes to like, you know, things that I'm fearful in my life. Like if we just keep it down to obviously golf, I've been trying to do what Paul says also in Philippians 4:8 when he talks about think whatever is pure, think whatever is commendable. And I'm trying to go into each shot with that type of confidence, thinking about what's pure, what's commendable. Like I've hit this shot before. The Lord has been with me this shot.
Mhm.
I'm going to take that into this as opposed to like, dang dog, like I got this bunker and the short side green. I'm scared I might blade it. why,
Yeah.
why am I doing that? And one thing for me as well as what I try to do is in Romans 10:17, it says, faith comes by hearing by the word of God. So I try to recite these verses out loud. And I'm not making it a plug like to watch my channel, but like if you've ever seen me play golf on my channel, you hear me talking to myself
a
all
lot
the
of self
time.
talk. Yeah.
All the time, like, all right, this is a 105 shot. I like my gap wedge. This is one of my favorite distance. Like I say stuff like that going to each shot. It doesn't always work out, but I want to be able to control what I can control going to each shot. And I also want to make sure like that's applicable to like just my real life. I mean, there are things that
Mhm.
are I'm in fear of with transitioning out of football. I've been out of football for now 6 years and just trying to find my lane into a desire the Lord has put on my heart. And our pastor talked about today. I believe it's Ephesians 3:20, how the Lord can give you far more abundantly than anything you can ask for. However, I'm so consumed with this fear of like, oh, what if this doesn't work out? And we're such finite humans, like we can't see the end, and He can. So
Mhm.
it's just so much practicing I'm trying to do when dealing with fear, both in sport and out of sport. And I'm just hoping to see the fruits in it. And I think my issue too is I have I'm not patient in the fear season, in the waiting season. It's like, all right, you're gonna put me through the season, all right, like just put me through this thing for like a week. Or if the challenge is difficult, it's like I'd rather have a sprained ankle as opposed to reconstructive surgery. Like I don't want challenges that deep. And if they do come to that, man, I really want to have a dependency on the Lord. And I don't want to just be preaching it because it sounds good on a Christian golf podcast. But like it's something I genuinely, because that's what I was really thinking about at church. Like when I proclaim the word and I'm saying this stuff, like am I saying it because like it's inspirational to the audience, or like am I actually like practicing this too? So I kind of went long there, but like that, like Nate, when I said this was gonna be our topic, like that was on my heart heavy last night, bro. And I'm just like, I do believe the Lord can give us far more abundant than we ask for, but it's just like, how's my relationship with Him in the fearful season? Like, how do I deal with this? And those are some of the practices I'm trying to walk out myself, as opposed to just proclaiming it to the audience. But Nate, my bad. I would love to hear your take too on like how you deal with fear as a believer, or maybe we don't do a good job at it, like, and we just whatever it may be. Yeah.
No, you're no. I love what you said. I like when you share what's on your heart and stuff like that. So, no, but I think go off what like Annabelle said. Like when I'm also an aggressive player, because I feel like with my irons, at least with my irons. Like I'm like C pin, attack pin, even though everyone says it's unwise. But so, you know, I was also like no fear. And every once in a while, like if I kind of have like the yips more or less going in the tournament, what I used to do is I used to write down verses on my glove, like right here on my glove, so I can like see it when I like set up, and I would just write down the number. So I would just write down like, so when it comes to fear, I write down 4:18, because 1 John 4:18 is like perfect love casts out fear. And I would try to think about like the people I love, or the people that love me and have supported me, to kind of get my mind off the fear, if you will. But that was kind of my main anecdote I was going to go with today. But I wanted to say at church, we talked about little tangential here, but
he always does.
We talked about funny. No. At church, I just thought this was really good. I'm like, I gotta share this.
Go ahead, bro. Spit. Yeah.
But we talked about like sexual immorality and like how like with sexual sin, there's always like shame. And then our pastor's like, well, don't you think Jesus had shame when he was getting crucified? He got crucified in the most shameful way, and he died the most shameful way. So he took your shame onto the cross, and he said something like that. And I was like, that's applicable to fear. Like, don't you think he was afraid when he was in the garden? Like, I don't want this route.
Yeah, I don't want to drink out of this cup.
And it kind of goes off what you were saying earlier, Jeremy. Was like, just take this cup from me if this isn't what you want from me, Lord. But it's like, Jesus took that to the cross, and he died for that, and he died with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we can put our fear and our shame on him, we would play the most free golf. We would play the most aggressive golf. I don't know. That's just my little nugget, if you will.
Yeah. And what he's referencing from what I said earlier, Annabelle, it wasn't necessarily this podcast, is so like I said, I'm a football guy who's trying to get into like women's golf media. And I've had this prayer with the Lord, like, Lord, if this is not, like, rip this desire for me if this is not for me. But I was referencing Psalms 37:4, which says, delight in the Lord, he gives desires of your heart. And the more I delight in the Lord, he keeps giving me this desire. And I just have this fear like, man, maybe nobody will accept me in women's golf media. Or I've had moments, truth be told, where I'll have like some type of meeting with like a golf outlet or something like that, and they'll disqualify me because the word gospel's in my name. So then that's where like the fear comes in and stuff like that. It's just like, Lord, I need you to make a way. But then I'm happy my pastor spoke about Ephesians 3:20 today. Like, he can do far more abundant anything you ask for. And that's why I'm super excited for the event tomorrow with the LPGA, with Roseanne, Haley Cooper, and Gina Kim, and Paul Rito. Cool. I'm so excited for that, bro. But in terms of like just golf media in itself, like I really just want to be able to, I don't know, write for women's golf, or maybe be behind a booth, or just like on something with it, because I have too much passion for it. And I don't think the Lord would tease me with that for like a season. And I literally asked him, like, if you literally do not want me doing this, like, take it from me, because I don't want to waste time. And every time I'm sitting there watching the LPGA, I'm watching who won the NXX2, I'm figuring like, okay, all right, Annabelle's in T2 right now, but I see Riley Rennell, she's right there. And I'm so locked in, and like I literally enjoy doing it. And I just had this fear like, man, what if I'm wasting time trying to get into this and stuff like that, and just trying to do those practices even in this season of fear as well. But I want to leave us with one last verse, at least while Annabelle's on, before me and Nate break down the forward. My pastor also concluded with, which sometimes I get fearful, maybe that's contradicting, when I read these passages, because I'm just like, I don't feel like being tested with this passage, bro. Like, why you bring this up? Because I feel like sometimes it works like that. But he brought up Habakkuk 3:17-18. It says, though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and the fields yield no food, the flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in God my salvation. So for this homie, even though things were like terrible, bro, like fig tree not blossoming, olive failing, no food, like he still chose to like rejoice in the Lord, even through failure. And as I'm reading, I'm just like, I don't want to go through that, but I have to walk that out big time. But Annabelle, do you have any closing remarks? Because like we don't want to take up your time, because me and Nate nerd out about golf for the longest.
No, I mean, not really. Thank you again for having me. It's just so great. I love what y'all are doing. I mean, I
Thank you.
think this is there's a lot of opportunity here. So I think what y'all are doing is so awesome. And thank you for just your interest in women's golf, because there's not a lot. So
Yeah, no, absolutely.
yeah,
And
it's a
shoot,
lot.
yeah, definitely gonna be rooting you on as you go to California first, and then I look forward to seeing you at the Carlisle Classic for the major on the Epson Tour.
Yes.
Yeah. And good luck at the U.S. Open qualifier and all
Yes,
that.
Thank you.
absolutely.
Where's it at
Thank you.
this year? I don't even know yet.
The U.S. Open? Yeah, I should
It's all
know
right.
that.
Well, the qualifier, I
I'm
think.
honestly
know
so
that too.
focused on the qualifier.
It's all right.
No,
one
the-
step at a time.
Dang, they said it during the PGA tournament. This is where the women's U.S. Open is. I can't remember. My gosh, they said
I don't
Was
know.
it-
It was
women's-
Aaron Hills last year, which was
I think that's what I'm thinking of, but
No,
then
I'm
like
not.
that's not this year.
No.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We won't hold much
Yeah.
time. But I remember
Yeah.
they saying it
Yeah.
during the PGA
I'll tell
tournament.
you
Yeah.
hopefully when I qualify.
when you qualify.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
we
got
look
it.
forward to seeing that. Absolutely, man. Appreciate you, Annabelle.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Again, guys, Annabelle Pancake Webb, awesome person. Got to meet her during the Tour Championship at the Indian Wells Golf Resort with the Epson Tour. Her and again the homie Tali Latoy took over and won the first Content Creator Showdown. I'm hoping that's an event that I'm doing every year with the Epson Tour. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But Nate, let's conclude here with predicting our winners for the Ford Championship. Same format we always do, 3 and 2. I'll start us off. And Nate, once again, I've always said this as I make my predictions. I like trends. And I want to take this back to last season. The homie Austin Kim, unfortunately, PXG player. However, last year, look at the Annika.
Picking her, bro.
Yeah, we look at the Annika last year. She finished T4. The CME, she finished T7. In Thailand this year, she finished T18. And at the HSCB, she had a solo second to obviously Hannah Green. But at the Blue Bay, she finished at a T3rd. And at the Founders, right now it's to be determined because the Founders still going. However, bro, she's playing phenomenal golf, and she's ranked 5th in birdies and 2nd in eagles. And I think that's a good mixture for a victory at the Ford Championship. The next person I got, who I've been a huge fan of as well, because I got to play with her sister in the Pro-Am 2 years ago at Seville Golf and Country Club, and I keep, unfortunately, mentioning what happened to her at the Chevron Championship on hole 18 with the Duff chip, but I got some faith in her. I'm going with Araya Jutanagarn. This will be her first tournament stateside, though. She's played really good on the Asian swing. She's 6th in putts per green regulation, and she has a 75% green regulation percentage. So she's hitting the greens, 6th in putts per green regulation. Again, I think that's also a recipe for victory on the Ford Championship. And lastly, I got to go with the girl that has my favorite swing on the tour. She went to Arizona State, so she knows desert golf
Arizona.
very, very well. Absolutely. The only fear that I have with, if no one knows, Lynn Grant is her day ones have been phenomenal this year, but she progressively gets worse as the weekend carries on. So hopefully Lynn Grant can kind of show what she did at the Annika and just be consistent throughout all 4 days and kind of win it in her home college state, where she went to Arizona State, and she can win the Ford Championships. Nate, let me hear your thoughts for predictions on the Ford Championship.
So Lynn Grant's kind of having a reverse Scotty, where it's like Scotty
She's good at
does
first
terrible
round.
day one and then kills it.
Yeah. But it's scary because for her pedigree, She can't do bad in the first round because she'll probably miss the cut. Maddie can mess around in the first round and still make the cut.
Yeah. If he starts missing cut, he's got to think about something else, just like Brooks.
Well, man.
All right. So I took one of your picks, Araya Jutanagar.
Yeah, good
10th
pick.
strokes gain, putting.
Yeah.
11th in approach, and 16th in tee to green. So,
bro, she's a good
driver.
player.
Her driver kind of stinks, but she can get onto the green, and she can give herself a look. So, despite her drives, which I think will do well at Whirlwind. And I think putting needs to be good because Whirlwind is a birdie fast course. Like, it's going to be low.
Yeah,
Minus
mind you guys,
22,
me and Nate just played there, so we know the conditions very well.
Yeah, it's looking crisp right now too. But the minus 22 won it last year, which is very low. So I think we need someone that's going to be a really, really good putter. Speaking of which, I think Nelly is going to have a good weekend.
She probably will, bro.
She's
probably will.
Dude, I was just saying this because dude, we got to get an update on this LPGA tournament.
I'm looking right now. Right now, now she's down 2 strokes. She had to get a bogey somewhere. She got a bogey somewhere because now she's 4 under as opposed to 5 under.
No, shoot.
Yeah,
okay,
I mean, still got 3 holes, 15, 16. Got 4 holes. It's through 14.
Dang, dude. All right. The pace of play, dude. We got to start stroking these ladies. I'm just kidding.
Bryson.
Yeah. No. So, but Nelly is number 1 in strokes gained total. Number 1 in strokes gained putting. We already know she is an amazing iron and driver player.
She is.
And she has the best scoring average on the LPGA. So,
yeah.
I think it's all signs are pointing Nelly. She won it 2 years ago in 2024 when she was on this crazy win streak. Granted, I don't think in 2024 it was. I don't think that was 2024 was at Seville, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. Because I remember I was following my friend Allie Ewing because she was one of my favorite golfers at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not the same tournament, but it was the Ford Championship then.
Ford Championship, different course.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. I was saying the title sponsor was the same. All right. And then the last pick is going to be Lydia Ko. Because she's a
phenomenal
2
putter.
Strokes gained total. It's going to be cool. Yeah, she's great. She's number 3 in putting.
Yeah.
And then she's 4 around the green. So if she sucks somewhere else, she can kind of make up for that around the green.
Hall of Fame golfer too, guys.
Yeah, she's going to be a Hall of Famer for sure.
She's already qualified. She is a Hall of Famer.
She is? Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Congrats, Lydia. Yeah, and I didn't want to pick Gino because I think that would be kind of like picking Scotty.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like I don't think she would. I don't think she's a clear runaway favorite as well. So
and I wanted to say this too. At this point, picking Scotty doesn't mean he's a runaway favorite. Now we're at that point.
I know
in his game.
exactly.
Yeah, last year or obviously American Express and stuff like it's like we're not gonna pick Scotty. It's too obvious. This year it's like maybe we can pick Scotty now because it's not guaranteed he's gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get to the dark horse here, man. So dark horse, I'm going with Nelly Korda's sister. Going with Jessica Korda, man. She got a taste of golf at the Grand Thornton. She finished T13. First tournament back. She missed 2.5 years due to obviously had the birth of her son and also some back injuries, so she had to kind of wait it out a little bit. Now she's back at the Ford Championship, and I'm just kind of hoping like she's going to be a Sharka-like. I mean, she's already a 6-time LPGA Tour winner. But I want to see her be in the conversation with her sister.
She was kind of Nelly before Nelly, dude.
Exactly.
It's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yes. And then the last person I got, she just got married, coming off her honeymoon, just kind of picking her to pick her. I'm going with Lexi Thompson, man. She's on cloud 9 right now. So
okay.
And I think if she does end up in the desert, Lexi's swing speed is so fast. She can get out. She can hit some great shots out of trouble because she's so strong.
Dude, Lexi was Nelly before Nelly too, so the game, and I don't think the game has fallen off that much. I just think it's not as fine tuned because she's not. It's not her priority
anymore.
That's more or less what.
She's married and she's accomplished a lot. Right.
Yeah. So but she was she was Nelly before Nelly. It's crazy. Like, Tiger was rooting for her and everything. All right. So my 2 dark horses One is, speaking of trends, I know this weekend she didn't do well, but Rose Zhang was trending well.
Yeah.
She was jumping spots and strokes gained everywhere across the board. But she was ranked 22. She's trending up in putts, so she's like ranked like 50th, I think, in putting. But it was moving up. So, this is more just me hopeful for her. She's gonna be on
awesome.
She's gonna. It's not faith
on the
in
panel.
Beyond the game. She's gonna be on the
beyond the
game.
scorecard.
Dude,
Beyond the scorecard.
Beyond the scorecard, dude. That guy got it. Faith in fairways.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I remember him saying that.
Oh man, dude, he said it twice too. But
yeah, that's
but Rose Zhang, those are the reasons she's gonna be on Beyond the Scorecard, and she is trending up minus this week.
Yeah,
I think it's just because she's saving all her good shots for this week. That's why.
One can hope.
Just like Rory. Just like Rory is saving his swings for the Masters.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Lottie Woad is my next dark horse. She's similar to Rose Zhang, kind of like
how they both
really
the
hot
league.
on tour.
Yeah.
They kind of came. It felt like they just came right out of college, But Lottie Woad is top 10 in like every category except around the green and putting. So that makes me a little nervous. Her putting is trending up, but her around the greens, like strokes gained around the greens, is kind of been what it's been.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she can dial in her approaches, then she don't have to worry about around the green. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? So
and Annabelle already referenced like obviously the chipping around the green in Arizona versus obviously a California or Florida is totally different. So hopefully the challenges of the fairways or the Bermuda in Arizona doesn't challenge her too much where it affects her overall score. But I think a lot of us would probably like to see Lottie Woad get back to form. I think the LPGA wants Nelly kind of obviously take charge again, but for us actual golf fans that watch women's golf and we know a variety of women golfers, like we'll name somebody like a Lottie Woad or want to see Jessica Korda kind of arise out of nowhere and stuff like that. So, guys, if you're in the Arizona area this upcoming week, go to the Ford Championship at Whirlwind, man. I think I explained last week when I was by myself some of the amazing things me and Nate learned at the LPGA Ford Media Day. They're going to have their own like hole 16, which is going to be fun. Go support these ladies. They're so good at golf. I have a lot of friends on the LPGA Epson Tour. Incredible.
Well, then hole
women.
15, the Bronco riding, dude.
That's
gonna be.
Yes,
that
it's
looks
gonna be
cool.
It's gonna be a big party at the Ford Championship and some really good golf. Yes, man.
Yeah, 9 of the top 10 players are gonna be in it.
Yeah,
Minjee Lee's not playing. That's the only girl in the top 10.
Is she not playing?
No, I would have picked her because her putting this week was impressive. I feel like the scorecard didn't reflect it, but man, her putting was ridiculous this week, man. So
you know what? You're probably right. I think I'm looking at her right now and thinking like, oh, I just saw her name, but I just see her in California. And maybe prior to this, I think Hannah Green was 11th, but now Hannah Green is ranked 9th. So when I hear 9 out of 10, I'm just like, well, Hannah Green's the one that's not playing, but it's actually Minjee Lee. Okay.
Yeah, they said that last week. Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, dang, so no Hannah Green and no Minjee Lee, bro. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Gino's gonna freaking be there.
Gino's
Grace
gonna be
Kim
there
too. I wanted to pick Grace Kim because her game has been trending as well. But if we can, I hope we can get those girls next year. Like they're solid players. But Lottie Woad, I'm saying like Lottie Woad is gonna play. Like it'd be really cool to watch her. Nelly, Nelly, Charlie, Gino are there. The three-headed monster are there. So
yeah. I do have a couple friends trying to do Monday qualifier. Like I would love to see the homie Madison Young get into the field and stuff as well.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I think she has partial status on LPGA as well as Epson Tour and stuff like that. But, hey guys, man, appreciate you guys watching this episode of Golf and Gospel Podcast, man. Please again like, subscribe, share, rate us on Spotify. Let's say you watch the first 10 minutes, let us know your thoughts on the first 10 minutes, and then you come back and you finish watching the entire thing. Again, please be rooting on, women's golf. They're dog of a golfers. We'd love to know your take on the things we said with LIV. We'd love know your takes in regards to Tigers playing in the match. It's so many things we spoke about today, man. Continue to, support me and Nate as we do this, man. Like I said, we're going to keep coming back, but we'll be grateful if you guys just like, comment, and it helps the algorithm so much. And like I'm saying, it's evidence out there. Me and Nate we've had some takes that have been money. Let the world know. All right. And one thing I want to leave us with too, man, as we spoke about our faith discussion, is one thing my pastor said today: you don't have to wait to the end of a situation to give him glory. We can give glory to Christ at any moment or any situation that we're in our life. But we'll see you guys on the next episode of Golf and Gospel Podcast. Peace.